The old grandfather clock chimed 10 times, its resonant voice echoing through the quiet house. In the nursery, baby Jesus gurgled softly, his tiny fist gripping a stuffed bear. Maria hummed a lullaby, gently rocking the cradle with one hand while the other rested on her lap. Downstairs, Jose carefully placed another log onto the fire. The flames crackled, casting flickering shadows that danced across the walls. Grandpa Garcia sat in his armchair, a well-worn book of poetry resting on his lap. His eyes, though clouded with age, still held a youthful glint. He smiled at the sound of Jesus' happy coos. It was a peaceful night, the kind that settled over their small home like a warm blanket. A sudden flash of light outside the window shattered the tranquility. Jose looked up, startled. The fire crackled, oblivious to the sudden shift in the atmosphere. He went to the window, peering out into the night. The stars, usually so constant and familiar, were moving. They swirled and pulsed, forming patterns that made his head spin. A cold dread crept into his heart. This was wrong, deeply wrong. He rushed back to the living room, his voice tight with urgency.
Maria, come quickly!
Maria appeared in the doorway, her face etched with concern.
What is it, Jose? What's wrong?
He pointed at the sky, his hand trembling.
Look!
Her eyes widened in horror as she took in the spectacle. The stars seemed to be falling, not in fiery streaks, but in a controlled descent. Fear tightened its grip on Jose's chest, but amidst the panic, a sliver of hope emerged. They lived in a small, forgotten town, miles from any major city. Perhaps, just perhaps, they would be overlooked, insignificant specks in the face of this invasion. A thunderous boom shook the house, rattling the windows in their frames. Jesus' soft coos turned into sharp cries. The book slipped from Grandpa Garcia's grasp, falling to the floor with a dull thud. The hope that had flickered within Jose died a swift death. They were not overlooked. He exchanged a terrified look with Maria, his hand instinctively reaching out to touch her, as if to shield her from danger. Heavy footsteps approached the front door. Each step sent shivers down his spine, raising goosebumps on his arms. Then another deafening boom. This time the front door almost splintered. Peering through the peephole, Jose saw a blinding light and a shape too alien to comprehend. Terror, raw and primal, surged through Jose. Maria scooped Jesus from his cradle, holding him close as he wailed. Maria stood frozen, her hand clutching her baby tightly. Grandpa Garcia, with surprising agility, grabbed his rifle, his eyes hardening with a defiance that belied his age.
We have to hide!
Jose hissed, his voice barely a whisper. He pushed Maria towards the back bedroom door, his heart pounding against his ribs. As they ran, a high-pitched whine filled the air. Jose risked a glance back. The figure in the doorway raised a hand, a weapon of some sort gleaming menacingly in the artificial light. The last thing Jose saw was a bright light emanating from the weapon. The nightmare was about to change their lives. This was far from over.